Hello comic fans, here's Earl Grey, cheers. Today I have lots and lots of art books by cartoonists to show you from America and Europe. Maybe I put the ones from the European cartoonists aside for the second video. Maybe I will do these at the end, cover them at the end of the video, I don't know. But I guess I have actually enough to talk about, just focusing on the stuff by American cartoonists. Maybe we start with Simon Hanselmann's newspaper art zine. I got it through Mansion Press in France, but it originally was published by Floating Comics. It's called Performance, and it's just a sequence of very oversized pictures. I keep this here in a huge folder, map. But yeah, it's almost impossible to keep this in mint condition here, for sure, but beautiful pictures here, if you love the art of Simon Hanselmann. I mean, his stories are not really beautiful in the full sense of the word. Yeah, just in comparison here. Here's a European album, album, so you have an impression how huge this thing here is. And yeah, I mean, it's just a collection of very creepy and yeah, funny and nice pictures out of his dysfunctional family around Meg and Mog and the owl and so on. So now I can put this here aside without making too many dents in it. And now let's continue with the other books. So I'm done. I don't want to edit this video. I don't want to edit this video. Come on. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure, even though now it's very cloudy, the sun, as you can see right now, the sun will come up later on, and then I don't want to have to sit behind my computer to edit this video here. One of my favorite cartoonists really is Farel Dalrymple. And his book, The Wrenchies, have made a lasting impression on me and the whole world that he explores in other comics as well. And The Other Wrong, published by Image. No, not The Other Wrong, stupid. The Often Wrong, way back, better title, is a collection of character studies, sketches, short comics, even some longer ones, enriching his world of the Wrenchies and all these characters that are sort of familiar to you, but it's a thing with his comics. They always slip a bit through my finger, at least. So you can't really figure out what's the meaning behind some of the storylines. And given that it is, for the most part, a pretty surreal sci-fi story, it's very possible that Mr. Dalrymple even himself doesn't know where the story will go, and this is exciting, and it's just a fun ride. And look at these beautiful drawings here. Highly recommended. Here we have a similar edition by Brandon Graham, which I showed you in a video a long time ago about Brandon's output. Check that out. There I took a bit longer look into this book here. Never showed you Grunt, I guess. The art The Art and Unpublished Comics by James Stokoe. I mean, he is a favorite cartoonist by many, I think. Even if his output in terms of comics is not so big, but it's easy to explain. I mean, look at the drawings like these. This takes time. And the whole book here is in this way. It's just amazingly detailed stuff here. We have an introduction by the man himself. This is James Stokoe, kinda. And it's colorful, but when he goes to raw pencils or ink drawings, and this is just a pencil drawing, which reminded me of another artist. I showed you this book here in an earlier video, Jeff Darrow's Lead Poisoning, the pencil art of Jeff Darrow. And Lead Poisoning is an amazing book. I mean, he's the master of details, but there's quite a similarity between both of these. Oh, these are almost simple drawings, but you have stuff like this for sure here. This Where's Waldo style here. Just his pencil drawing. So there's a high probability, if you like Jeff Darrow's Lead Poisoning, you will like Grunt and James Stokoe's art in general, for sure. Yeah, and if I ever would have seen this picture here, I would have guessed it's by Jeff Darrow, but it's James Stokoe. And I don't know if you can see all the stuff here. It really makes your eyes hurt. And on the lower level here, you have even a bit of storytelling in a way, kind of. So, and here we have art for wonton soup, a sci-fi kitchen manga-ish story, and an unpublished comic here, and so on. I mean, it's just a trip. This book here, even if you have never read anything by James Stokoe, you have to have this book. Almost every review of James Stokoe's books, be it his Godzilla comics or whatnot, his Alien comic, starts with the adoration for his art. And here you can see the basis and the reason, and this is a homage to Black Sad. Yeah, wonderful book, fantastic. Has to be in every good collection, I guess. So, and I guess since I'm on a run here, I will include my European books as well here in a second. But now to the Ultimate Collection number 7 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You know what's the drill with these Ultimate Collections is they collect the original stuff by Laird and Kevin Eastman, and the 7th collection here is just a collection of art, covers, conceptual sketches and so on. And I'm still pretty amazed that I like stuff like this here. It's this goofy, charming underground cutesiness with strange aliens, and yeah, that really has a lot of appeal for me. And I mean, on the Triceratops only are worth looking into one TMNT book here. Even though the reproduction quality here in this book is far, on some pages, far from the optimum. I mean, if this looks very dark and even blurry to you, it's not because of my mobile, but it's because it's dark and blurry. It's not throughout the book here, but you have here some pictures. Okay, this, don't know, this maybe looks worse than it is. In person, it's okay, but a double page like this one here is really, it's almost like someone rubbed some grease over the picture here. I mean, the hardcore fan of TMNT, they won't be disturbed and kept off this book here, and quite frankly, you should buy this book because of pages like this here or others. It's a lot of fun, really. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Ultimate Collection number 7. So, look, I guess, yes, that's everything I wanted to show you in terms of American cartoonists and their art books. I have more stuff, but that are art books that I recently dealt with, and maybe I should do an overview about these books, but I should do overviews about many stuff here. So, yeah, let's start with this book here. Obviously inspired by Guy Pellert's comics. I have Pravda, but you may know the Adventures of Jodelle, drawn in a very similar style, about this motorbiking chick here. And La Fille, which is the girl. That much I know of my French. But otherwise I'm blanking on many pages here, since this is French edition and there's no English edition and no translation, obviously. Thanks to John here, I got this book, and he showed this. I can't remember. Jonanjello was his original channel name. I put the link down below. But he showed this one here, this book, and he played the CD. There's the CD with music. So this is actually a comic musical. One Gesamtkunstwerk. The lady with whom he did this comic musical, Barbara Carlotti, reads the text here for the most part, and there are some male voices as well, maybe by Christophe Blain himself, I don't know, actually. Should know. I guess that's not so important. So we've been told what's happening here on these panels and a bit more. So it's not enough to look at the beautiful panels on the right-hand side, and it's a goofy tale about these chicks on motorbike gang. Some Hells Angels in the female version, and there's this little cowboy here in the haystack, and he's really little, as you can see there. But La Fille and the cowboy, they fall in love, and each time they make love to each other, he gets a bit bigger. And in the end, they got separated, and it's a very odd and whimsical road trip movie here that unfolds in front of our eyes and in our ears, since the musical, when you listen to it at the same time, there are a lot of nice chansons. With a lack of better comparisons, I would say think of Stereolab and some other chanson. And it's a nice French mix of pop, always sung by Barbara Carlotti, who has a nice voice. And yeah, it's a charming piece of attempt to create something more than just quotes on quotes of a comic. And this looks really, really Guy Pellaert to me. But nothing wrong with that. I mean, so, nice edition. If somebody has an idea where I can find English or even better German translation, let me know. So I was on the Christophe Blain hook a bit. I mean, the most famous comics that you should have are Gaz and Isaac the Pirate, just to mention these. And yeah, he has gotten some kind of fame. So they published this landscape formatted hardcover here with sketches that he did during a journey through Latvia, not Lithuania, Latvia, okay, and the polar regions from there. So very sparse sceneries, especially. Oh no, it's not especially in the polar region. You will see the change. This is all Latvia, and maybe as we imagine it, very very wide open sceneries, and here you can see the masterful minimalism that Christophe Blain uses in his comics as well. And here you had even some characters or portraits of some people there in between. And these here are the earlier drawings of a trip to the polar regions. Interestingly, much more colorful. Maybe because of the light there, maybe because he used just more color. He was using more colors in his earlier efforts. So, but this is really just for the completionist. I mean, this is no way different than many other art books that you get by real artists who never have seen a comic. There's no hint of a comic there. So, now it will be a bit difficult with this book, Noise, by the Tonto group, which is a loose association of many cartoonists and artists who put out books like this one here for different subjects. As you can see here, this is actually not just one book, but two books that have to be put here inside this here, and we have, the theme is noise, sound. I would say even creativity, and this book here is all about creativity. So it's an anthology, and but first with a common theme throughout, and secondly It's okay. I don't know what I wanted to say, but this is by Nicholas Mahler. You maybe can pause the video and take it in. This is a good example of the very dry humor of this Austrian master of minimalist comics here. So very different takes on the theme of noise. Here we have some ways of wave shapes and a bit like notation for some electronic instruments, and this is combined with these visuals here. I don't want to make the impression that I really have understood everything here in this book. I'm far away from this. There is somewhere, and this is in German, but there is an English translation of the central stuff here, of the central themes, I guess. Wait. Yeah, they made here an attempt to give you some hints in English, and it's part-wise bilingual, but I really doubt that you would could understand the efforts here. But it's a very interesting concept, and how the book here is made is really something. Much more easy to grasp is this book here, even though, yeah, it's a German-only publication. Probably a similar edition will be put out in France. You know how much I love Don Lawrence and his Storm and Trigun comics. And this is a collection of the first of three, with his illustrations for Look and Learn and other publications that came out in the UK. It's kind of album formatted, so it's big enough to read all these texts here. It's astonishing how much the kids way back should read. But for me, the draw and the pull here for this book here are obviously these illustrations. But needlessly to say, this is really just a book for the Don Lawrence completionist. If you really want to have everything by him, this is no comics at all, but very nice illustrations. I mean, look at this one here. I covered this book here together with some other stuff in my second channel in German, with a video about Don Lawrence's opus, all his comics in my collection. So, now to a book by the Finnish multi-talent Tommi Musturi, and this is the last one that I want to show you today here. It's called Cracking, and it's very big. Again, size comparison, slightly bigger than the big Thorgal albums. And you should know Tommi Musturi from his self-conducted outfit Boing Being and his recent anthologies Future and a lot of other stuff. You can visit his website and order postage free from Finland, I guess from wherever you are. So it's always very rewarding, and he does this freewheeling art shit, I say, without any condescending. It's an homage for me. It's really out there shit in the best sense possible. Stuff to flip through and get high on just with your eyeballs. And when I remember correctly, I got this for really a bargain, almost a steal. So maybe not every one's cup of tea. Some stuff feels a bit very arbitrary, but I really like it. It's imagine to have your walls lined up with a tapestry like this here. I mean, either you would go bananas or become a genius. So, pretty inspiring if you have smoked or drunk the right stuff. So, otherwise, I put all the stuff here together for a short last picture here to give you an opportunity to click on all the other stuff that I will put on here. And not to forget to thank you for listening and watching. Goodbye.